Okay, I'd like to call to order the Community Development Authority meeting for Tuesday, October 1, 2024. Roll call, please.
President Kradowski.
Here.
Trustee Paul.
Here.
Trustee Atkinson.
Here.
Member Lucius.
Here.
Member Vanda Creek.
Here.
Member Enke.
Here.
Member Christensen. Jean.
Okay. Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And please remember when men and women built the world in the I have no changes to the agenda. I need a motion.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion in a second. Motion by Chris Atkinson, second by Keith Lucius to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed. Motion carried. Number 5, action on the minutes from December 5th, 2023.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Atkinson, second by Lucius to approve those minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed. Motion carried. Thank you. 6th action item 6A, consider, discuss, act on a planning option extension for Merge LLC for parcels VA-55-C and VA-55-D. Aaron.
All right, thank you. I will share my screen. All right. So this is, as indicated, a requested planning option extension for Merge LLC. Merge is the developer that developed the Commonplace Building 2 and Odyssey Climbing and Fitness. They will be starting building number 2 immediately to the west of the property. I'm sorry, east.
I was going to say,
there you go. East. Right here. This fall, hoping for a November break ground on that one. I do have a couple of folks from Merge online as well, answering questions you might have for them. The planning option extension would be for VA 55-C and VA 55-D, the 2 remaining parcels owned by the CDA immediately to the west of LP Meridian. So these 2 parcels right here. The request for an 18-month extension is to allow for, number 1, planning to begin for those 2 parcels. The second point is to allow for it to be a laydown area for construction purposes for building number 2. So in the documentation, there is some hold harmless language as well for them to utilize that property to, again, lay down stage for construction for building number 2. This is an 18-month requested extension, basically to cover the construction timeline for building number 2 and alongside. And there's and I should note there's a typo. It should be a $10,000 planning option payable to the CDA should it be approved. I believe in the staff report it said 15. That should be 10,000. Let me make that clear in the front end. I believe Wes from Merge is online. I guess, Wes, is there anything you'd like to add at all to that discussion?
Hey, Aaron, this is Justin Bolger with Merge. Hey, no, I think you nailed it there. We're, hopefully you guys can hear me okay. We're hoping to kick off phase 2 here very soon. Been meeting weekly on that one, and yeah, just looking forward to continuing progress there. So.
All right, thanks. Any questions for myself or Justin? We're happy to answer them.
The laydown area is that space to the far east of the property that you're talking about.
Right, these 2 parcels right here that are still owned by the CDA.
Okay, what anything proposed for the 3rd parcel?
Not yet.
Okay. Okay.
Building number 2 is kind of the priority at this point, but then while they work on building number 2 construction, they'll start looking at planning up alternatives for those 2 parcels.
Okay.
So we have not sold them the 55C and the 55D, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
They own 55.
That's correct. Yep.
Is the plan for a similar building?
Probably something a little smaller, certainly. Just the parcel size isn't that large for 55C and 55D. They're going to evaluate what the market is for different types of uses. Certainly, probably some additional surface parking I think it's probably a little pinched right now with buildings 1 and 2. But that's the plan at this point.
Aaron, didn't we get a sneak review of the building number 2?
Building 2 was approved by site plan.
Okay, I was gonna say something that should jingles my mind on something.
Yep, and I will, on the next agenda item, just give you an update on some of the development projects in the village, and I'll bring up the rendering for building 2 as well.
Is that gonna come in front of the site plan again for any changes?
Nope.
Oh, it's all done?
Yep.
Okay.
Does that come in front of village board?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, it did. Justin, as far as, did I hear right that the construction plans have been approved by the state?
Yes, you are correct. Yep. They have been approved.
Great.
Aaron, what type of liability do we have if they're on our land if something happens? So let's say contamination happens or someone gets hurt. Well, do we have protection that they're responsible while they're using this land that we own for free?
Yes. For
$10,000.
Yep. Yep. The whole harmless language was
Did it?
important. We included that in there with Patrick.
So they have insurance that protects it. We get a copy and the name.
Sure, we certainly can. Justin, is that something we can get added to or a copy of as your insurance policy for the property?
Yep, we can definitely talk to our people to get whatever you guys would like to see for insurance language.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
They had it previously too, right?
Yes, this was a previous
So this
planning
is just an
option.
extension.
Correct.
That being said, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion by Atkinson, seconded by Paul to approve the planning option extension for Merge LLC. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin and Wes.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. We appreciate all your support and help. Thanks, everybody.
Now, 6B, receive, discuss presentation regarding current development projects in the village of Ashwaubenon. Yeah.
All right. Let me see. I have my screen here. Bring up the presentation. Give me a second here. Could you, actually, I'm going to stop sharing. And if you could just reshare me. There you go. Oops. That was a power one there. Yeah. There you go. Okay. There we go. All right. So I thought since it's been a while since we had gotten together, going on, I think, 10 months, we've got a few things happening in the village, a few things you've seen as far as construction occurring, and then a few projects that are in the works. So I thought I'd just run through some of these with you, just give you an idea of what's going on in the community. As a CD, I thought it's important to keep you in a loop. I did actually give a similar presentation to the statewide commercial realtors group just last week, so I was able to kind of take from that one and add on a little bit. So a little bit in what's new in the community. And all right, let's go this way. Obviously the draft Mary and Joel were just at a draft meeting again today, talking through some details. Not a whole lot of information out there on that yet. What you see in the newspaper is what we know as well. Things are slow to come together, but we're getting there. In terms of the last 4 years, we in the village of Ashwaubenon have seen over $595 million of construction value. That's new construction right here in the village. So far in 2024, we're just under 200 million alone. I was hoping that we'd be at, I guess, say 200 million, we're at 198. So, but I think we'll be at 200 million here shortly. To give, again, major credit to our village board, planning commission, site plan review committee, our 2 building inspectors that have been doing all the inspections for all that information, as well as our new code enforcement officer, Will Engels. For those who don't know Will, Will is the new full-time version of Jim Malloy, was with the village for a long time. So just running on a couple of different projects here. This is the Commonplace Building 2, which we just discussed a little bit as far as the laydown area for those 2 parcels. Breaking ground, fall, winter 2024. Like I said, the construction plans are done, approved by the state. So they should be probably submitting for their building permit here really any day. So we have mixed use projects similar to building 1, just without a climbing wall or climbing gym in it.
What's the occupation
As far as
in the apartments?
number of units,
No, how many are filled is what I'm asking.
this one hasn't been built yet. The
I'm talking
building one. They're at, I don't want to say they're at capacity because those are transitional, people moving in, moving out, but they're basically leased up.
I think they use a couple of them as short-term rentals.
They do.
So I think that, otherwise, as far as last I looked into, I think they were completely full for long-term rental.
Yep. Yeah, they've found a nice niche there. What they do is they do rent, I think it's 5 or 8 maybe, for a short-term rental, which actually classifies them as a hotel under the county license. So they found a nice niche there. They also do a lot of month-to-month rent for basically traveling nurses. People are in town for work, month-to-month basis. So it's kind of a nice niche and a different one from other ones that we've seen with the Element, Bohemian Park.
You couple that with them allowing pets, which they do, it turns into a very nice development. It's very desirable because there's not a lot of landlords out there that'll let you have a pet and go month to month. So it's pretty nice development for Ashwaubenon.
Yep. So we're looking forward to some breaking ground here, hopefully November. The promenade or promenade, I'm not sure. Have you ever gotten clarification on that, Chris?
I call it promenade.
Okay, promenade, we'll go with that.
Pronunciation thing.
Okay. Promenade, this of course is the former San Luis nursing home property. Partnership between the village and Woodside to bring this to market. 83 market rate, active adult. Do not call it senior housing. Got my wrist slap for that. It's active adult. It's 50 plus. So if you're looking for a new place that is basically kind of your maintenance-free lifestyle, it's going to have the pickleball courts, the pool, golf simulator, I think. Kind of a whole ball of wax you see in a lot of different retirement places. So it's a really nice amenity. Also, then a new branch of the Brown County Library here in Ashwaubenon will be located there, right over here. So that's something I've been working on since I started here, is trying to find a location for the library that makes sense. Prior to this location, the county was actually looking out on Packerland, out by the airport, which honestly, that's just not a good location for the library.
Doesn't even have a bus stop.
You wouldn't even get any foot traffic over there.
No.
So this is, and I appreciate the county's cooperation in seeing this happen. So this is a good option for us. I think it's going to serve the village well into the future. Probably saw Bellin Health, or Amplify Health as they're known now, as a partnership with Gunderson. Children's Hospital, Wisconsin, new children adolescent clinic going up on South Ashland. Former Holiday Inn Airport, or if you want to go way back to old Howard Johnson's, which was vacant for a number of years. So again, nice infill development, redevelopment of a vacant site, really good visibility. Bellin's been a good partner with us with the ambulatory surgical center, and now the new youth clinic. Plan opening in spring 2025, making good progress on that, so I don't see that being an issue at all. This is one of the newer developments that's going to be coming online here. It's Spark Development is the group actually doing the development. We don't have a name for it yet. This is a bigger project, former Green Bay packaging site just south of the Rocker Stadium here, Capital Credit Union Park. 152 market rate apartment units. What they're a real important part of this, or piece of this, was that they have oversized their parking to accommodate parking at the stadium and at Epic Event Center as well. So they wanted to have some good connections there. I think it's going to be a really nice kind of cornerstone component to kind of bridge that gap again between this area and the mall.
Said groundbreaking on date.
Not yet. Don't have a date yet. They,
I just see fall of
Yep.
sure.
Yeah, so fall, it's going to be sometime they want to get in the ground yet, probably November. You probably don't see this one a whole lot because it's not as visible unless you're on the Fox River National Road Museum Edition for the Lenfesty Pavilion. Katie was just out there for an inspection. She said it's actually really cool. Actually, you can see they put in the railroad tracks now into the building because, of course, they're going to have the trains in there. She said she had never seen such beefy foundations because, again, these trains are heavy. So it's pretty interesting seeing the tracks in there. So this, again, is opening probably spring of 2025.
One of the interesting things is from like a year or two ago when we were out there, Joel and I were talking with Jacqueline, and they eventually would like to have like a water taxi going from the Railroad Museum over to Heritage Hill.
Interesting.
With them bringing the cruise ships into the Fox River, and then that would be a nice little excursion for people. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. This is going to be one of those really cool
Yeah.
views. Monday Night Football, they do a view of the river. This is going to be all lit up. It's going to be really nice.
They're not going to show the sauerkraut factory anymore.
Titletown Fitness, I'm sure you've seen this one going up in Titletown. It's the newest addition there. 46,000 square feet, opening spring of 2025. They're planning on having it open before the draft. See, there's.
Is that all that's in there?
No, there's also a office going in there.
Okay.
And they had planned on some food and beverage retailers, but I think it's going to be taken up entirely by Titletown Fitness and this office user that's going in there. Office user hasn't been announced yet, but it's a really good user, top notch. I spelled Cornerstone wrong. Dropped the E. Cornerstone Community Center, again, a fourth sheet device edition, and basically home ice for St. Norbert College. That's going to be a really big addition to this community in terms of getting heads and beds for these big ice tournaments. That fourth sheet ice is going to be huge in terms of recruiting those tournaments. So I think this is really going to be a good addition to the community. They're working on footing foundations right now out there. So you drive out there, there's a lot of work going on. Did run into some bad soils, had to deal with that, but not uncommon in a project of this size. Bad soils meaning not contamination, just more organic than what they wanted.
So on that project, have you made any decisions on where the tennis courts are being relocated or what's happening?
As of right now, what we're doing is taking the money that they're giving us, and we are going to light the tennis courts at Pioneer so they can be used longer, and then there'll be a further discussion.
Okay.
We have a project here that has preliminary land unit development approval. This is on Marina Lane, vacant property at Marina Lane and Broadway, right next to Terra on the Fox, which made for some interesting conversations with the developer.
Yeah.
Just so you know. But this is going to be again, mixed housing. It's going to be 120 unit senior apartments, 44 unit CBRF with some memory care, as well as then 6 townhouse attached condo type units up against the river. Mentioned preliminary PUD was approved by Village Board. Final PUD I'm anticipating coming through in November. with construction probably starting then soon next spring.
Yeah, they're gonna put memory care next to Terra and Fox.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah, just we made sure that they knew that up front. Like our initial discussion with them, we said, hey, just so you know, this goes on next door. They said, we'll make sure people are aware, and when they start saying that they're seeing ghosts, we can tell them that's actually accurate.
So this is going between the existing hotel that's there and Terra.
Correct. Yeah, this is the Residence Inn right here.
And it'll wrap all the way down to the
Right,
water.
Right, but I just wasn't thinking there was that much space between
Yeah.
the Residence Inn and with Terra and the Fox.
So access points right here on Broadway, and then Marina Lane.
Hopefully they don't have to call our public safety too often because people are scared and
Right.
having heart attacks because they see ghosts and goblins.
It's just gonna be loud when they get going in October.
And there's a few other additional projects. 789 Armed Forces. It's a multi-level restaurant or bar right across from the rest center. That's the Doozies group doing that. Highland Ridge Subdivision, first edition. Yeah, go ahead.
To back on that one, are they gonna have to put up some kind of a screen, or the Packers gonna have to put up some kind of a screen? Because that looks like it looks right into the practice facility.
We haven't heard
Just
what's
like
going to
the
happen
rest
there. That's kind of the Packers deal. If that's a concern of theirs, they'll have to do something.
Did they have enough parking for that? I thought that was the whole about it.
They do. They did a good analysis on it. They're looking at, the parking there is connected to their Doozies parking as well.
Mhm.
And the way the restaurants are compared to the bar, compared to Doozies itself, they're kind of used off times. So a lot of shared co-parking. And then, if there isn't, there's also on-street parking, Mike McCarthy Way Morris for van for overflow. Highland Ridge Subdivision, first edition. That is the old Highland Ridge Golf Course along Sand Acres Drive. They are almost sold out of lots for this first edition. So the second phase is almost sold out already. Just been phenomenal demand for it. Good for West Superior School District. Unfortunately not in Ashwaubenon School District.
Good for the community.
Yeah.
I've been through there. It's really good.
Yeah, there'll be some really big homes going up against that creek. So it'll be interesting to see. Second edition actually is in the works. So the last portion of final to the south, they're going to start working on designs for that. By that I mean construction drawings here this fall. Cypress Apartments and Townhomes over by Cornerstone between Cypress and West Main Avenue. You'll see some two-story townhomes on the north and south ends, and then apartment buildings basically between them. It's being developed by Alliance Management. They've done a few projects in Howard as well as in Bellevue. Developer.
So how many new total apartment units do we have going at the same time here?
There's a good number. I don't have the number offhand. I have it back in my office.
That'd be 700 or 800 or more.
Not that many. Since the start, basically Manso Flats broke ground, we're upwards of that. Under construction right now, you look at 152 at Spark. Again, these are different products too. So, the Promenade is a different product from Spark, different product from Marina Lane. But that's really been driving a lot of our population growth in the community. And they fill up. Element opened in April, and by June they were full.
There was a market analysis, and I don't remember the numbers, recently posted in the Press Gazette. And I was surprised because when the promenade was talked about long before this, that has been in the works. They've looked at doing that for years. The market analysis came back and said they need 10,000 more housing units in this area. And I was shocked to see that recent one was actually way more than that 10,000 number. It was like, I want to say 7,000 apartment units, and then they had single family housing of like another 8,000 on top of that. So it was drastically increased, even though that we have developed so much more.
Yeah, we're one of the few counties in the state that see positive net migration. So in migration, other counties, parts of the state, the country, and positive birth rate. There's aren't many, Dane County, like Waukesha, us, and maybe Outagamie. That's about it. So you see that it's a big draw to this area, and people need housing. So did a good job of accommodating it. Bertram Hyundai just opened up on Ramada Way. That was their Cars.com, I think it was initially, or Car Express. They tore down the old building, put up a new Hyundai dealership. Bellin Ambulatory Surgical Center, the old Menard site, floors 3 and 4 are almost finished building out now. So then it's just 4 or 5 yet that is white boxed. Then the Pagels property, housing development, did get preliminary PUD approval by the village board just last month. And that's this agricultural area, a couple farm fields. This is Arts Lane. Here is West Main Avenue. Here is South Ridge. This is Astor Court and Pagels Place. So this was owned by a family trust and working with Craig Kasner on developing this property for a mixture of single family homes, condo duplex units, and condo townhome units, and then 64 apartment units tucked up here against the river, against the creek. Single family homes similar to Woods Edge to the south, as far as lot size and home type. I just have that on there in case anyone was watching online and needed to get my contact information. So, any questions on any of the projects going on in the community?
A lot of really nice development.
Yeah. I appreciate you sharing this. Yeah. So I see things and my wife's like, what's going on there? I don't know. You should know.
You know, it's funny. I get asked the same question. I'm like, well, I don't remember. I'll have to check again.
Yeah, if you get those questions, by all means, give me a call, email anytime. Happy to tell you guys what's going on.
Sounds good.
That Highland Ridge, I was driving around back in there recently, and that really has turned out to be a nice area back in there. And I think there's still future development next to that. There's that one commercial building that must still be for sale that isn't realizing. So I'm sure at some point that'll be picked up too and something done with that. So it's nice to see that.
Is there roads cut in for the police too?
Yeah,
Yes.
Start on everything, yeah.
And then after.
The developer does a great job.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Appreciate you sitting through that. Again, didn't want to take up too much of your time. I also want to give you an idea what is going on.
Good. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so any items for next agenda, or we'll just wait and see?
We'll wait and see. Nothing right now, but never know.
Okay, I need a
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion by Atkinson, second by Lucius to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.